Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Okay, and here we go. Now this is going to be my thoughts on night 2 of WrestleMania 37. So it just ended probably about, once again, probably around 30 to 45 minutes ago as I'm recording this. Yeah. And overall, I mean, I did think that it was still, once again, it was overall good, but yeah, I think that night 1 turned out better than tonight did. The reason being is because I think that there were quite a few disappointments to come out of this night. Because yeah, there were just some matches I felt that were kind of disappointing because yeah, it just felt that for this show there were quite a few matches that just seemed relatively short or just shorter than they should have been. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the night before, just last night with night 1, the WWE really did a better job of kind of giving a bout, balancing out the times for the matches. But here, it just seemed like there were quite a few matches on the show that just seemed shorter than what they should have been. Because yeah, there were 3 matches on the show that were under 10 minutes long. So yeah, so they really kind of really didn't really do as good of a job as they did last night of really balancing out the times for the matches here. Yeah, the matches themselves overall, I mean, like I said, there were some that I think there are people that really are going to be disappointed with quite a few of them. But I mean, overall, I still do think that the matches, for the most part, they were still pretty solid. And yeah, I really think that the last 2 matches really were the true highlights of the show. Oh yeah. So yeah. So last night when I did my thoughts on night 1, as I was going through the matches, I was kind of just saying what how my track record was going for the how my predictions were. Yeah, and I realized that at the end of the video, I didn't even say what my final results were for night 1. So yeah, last night, for night 1, I went 4 for 7 matches on my predictions on who I thought was gonna win. Yeah, but tonight, yeah, tonight I only went 2 for 7 tonight. So yeah, so overall, yeah, the final result for my predictions was that I went 6 for 14. So yeah, so over half of the my predictions were wrong. Yeah. So I went for a total of 6 for 14 matches in the 2 nights of WrestleMania. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So I guess I'll just go over the card for night 2 of WrestleMania. All right. So so as the show opened up, you had once again Hulk Hogan and Tyson O'Neil coming out to cut a promo to hype up the crowd, and yeah, they tonight in the opening of the show they came out dressed as pirates. So yeah, so I guess this was just to fit in with the theme of the show. Yeah, and they came out just as pirates, and yeah, they were even talking more like pirates, saying some stuff that pirates would say, mateys and all that stuff. Yeah, but yeah, so the first match of this night was Randy Orton versus a Bray Wyatt, which I was kind of surprised that this went on first. I was thinking this was probably going to be the second or third to last match of the show. Yeah, so yeah, the match opened up with this. Yeah, and just Bray Wyatt's entrance, just wow. Of course, ever since Bray Wyatt returned at Fastlane, it's just shown that he's been burned because of what Randy Orton did to him back at TLC. Yeah, but tonight, during his entrance, before he actually did was a scene out in the stadium, it showed this video of him kind of seemingly coming out to the arena, and it showed his burned body was just completely healed up, and he was back to his just a normal fiend body. Yeah. Then Alexa Bliss came out, and there was just this huge Jack in the box just right beside the ring. Yeah, and then Alexa Bliss was winding it up. Yeah, and then when it opened up, Bray Wyatt emerged from the box. Yeah, and then the theme music then hit, and the lights just like had that red dim once again. So I forgot about the red dim lights. I mean, I'm sure like with the crowd back now, that's something that they really didn't miss. Yeah, but so this was the first match of the night, and man, I kind of like felt that this was probably what people are really going to be disappointed with because as like it actually did like start off pretty good. Like Bray Wyatt actually did leap off the box after he emerged from it, hit onto Randy Orton. Yeah, and then Bray Wyatt actually did like get the mandible claw in on Randy Orton a couple of times in the match, but Randy Orton ended up escaping. Yeah, and it just did kind of go like back and forth. Like Randy Orton went for the second rope DDT. Yeah, and the match was like going on like 5 minutes, and then when it looked like Bray Wyatt was going for the Sister Abigail and Randy Orton, then all of a sudden the lights went out, and then it showed like Alexa Bliss like sitting on the top of the box with like it just showed like a black gooey substance like running down her face, and then as Bray Wyatt was distracted with that, then like Randy Orton then just hit an RKO on Bray Wyatt and pinned him. So Randy Orton got the win. Yeah, so that was one of the. This was one of the matches that I was right with my prediction. Yeah, but really, like, what was the meaning of this? Like, why did you have this like be so short? You only had this go on like 5 minutes. Yeah, and plus, what is that actually symbolizing with like Alexa Bliss just like with that like that gooey black substance coming down her face? Like, what actually does that symbolize? And there wasn't even any like explanation of this tonight. Like, I'm sure like that like in the like probably maybe like sometime I'm on a Raw or like in the next coming weeks. Maybe there'll be some follow up on this with an explanation. But here like just as Bray Wyatt was just like looking at Alexa Bliss, then like the lights started to dim down, and then it eventually like went to, like pitch dark, and then when lights came back on, the two of them were just gone. So I'm not really sure like what the meaning of this whole situation is. Yeah, but maybe like on Raw tomorrow or in the coming weeks there will be like some follow up on this. Yeah, but this match was only like over 5 minutes long, so I feel that this is something that people really are going to be disappointed with, given like just how much build up this had. And you only give this like 5 minutes and you go down this path with it. So so I'm sure that this is really going to be a match that people are really going to be disappointed with. Yeah. Then next up, the next match was then the Women's Tag Team Championship match. It was Nia Jax and Shayna Basler defending against Natalya and Tamina. Yeah. And I mean, I'm not really sure like what people really are going to think about this match. I mean, I like saw like some people were like kind of not really caring about Natalya and Tamina winning the tag team turmoil and challenging for the championships here. Yeah, so I'm sure that a lot of people really are not going to care about this match. But really, I really have no complaints with this. I mean, this was really just it was what it was. I mean, I really don't have much to complain about here. I mean, it like went back and forth between both teams, and they like got tagged in, and like all four of them like just got tagged in throughout the match. Yeah. At one point, Nia Jax like tried to go for a crossbody on Natalya and Tamina, and I found it weird because Natalya and Tamina were actually like looking up at Nia Jax that whole time, but they weren't doing anything. They were just like standing there as like Nia was up on the turnbuckle and jumped down on them. So that was kind of weird. But Nia ended up like landing on her knee kind of awkwardly. Then at one point, Tamina then like went for the super fly splash on Nia Jax, but Nia Jax moved out of the way. And then like during like some commotion, Nia Jax got in a blind tag on Shayna Basler, and Natalya didn't notice, and then she had a Nia Jax in the sharpshooter, but then Shayna then like locked in the Cure Fuda clutch on Natalya, and then like Natalya just ended up like just passing out, and so the referee hold the match, and Nia Jax and Shayna Basler want to retain the titles. So so this was another technical submission finish. As I mentioned before, like in my night one video, I really am not too keen on the technical submission finishes. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, back in the day, like those were like rarely ever used. Yeah, those were rarely ever done where somebody just like passed out and yeah, the match like was stopped by a technical submission like that. But now it just seems like the WWE is really doing that a lot. Like they did it back at Survivor Series in the match with Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. They did it last night in the match with Lashley and Drew McIntyre. And yeah, and now they did it again here. Yeah, and I'm sure they've even done it like even more than this in like the last like quite the amount of time. I don't really know because I really don't like watch like Raw or SmackDown regularly, and I don't really like watch like a whole lot of the pay-per-views now. So I'm not really like too sure like how often they do this, but yeah, whenever I'm putting on the WWE now, I'm just really like seeing this quite often. So yeah, so I'm really not too keen on the technical submission finishes that they seem to be doing quite a lot now. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I mean, yeah, the match was what it was. I mean, it's something that I really don't think like a whole lot of people like are really going to care for this match. So yeah, so I guess it's not really worth like getting that upset over. So yeah, but yeah, so yeah, the match it was what it was. I mean, it really wasn't really like that bad or anything. And plus, yeah, since like it's something not a whole lot of people I think are really going to care for. Yeah, there's not really anything much to really complain about with it. All right. So yeah, so I guess like the match served its purpose. All right. Then next up, then we had the match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and yeah, of course, as I mentioned before, you had Logan Paul out at ringside as Sami Zayn's guest of honor. Mm. So yeah, this match really didn't turn out the way that I really was expecting it to. Because yeah, like I was like talking about in my prediction video, I was really like thinking like it was gonna be something where like Logan Paul was just like standing like in Sami Zayn's corner and he was just like gonna try to help out Sami Zayn and he was like gonna screw Kevin Owens over to help Sami Zayn win the match. But that's not what happened in this match. Really, just all Logan Paul was really doing was just like he was sitting down like right beside the announce table watching the match. Yeah, but yeah, this match overall, I thought it was. Yeah, this match was solid. Yeah, I did kind of go just like back and forth between the two of them. Like, like, yeah, Kevin Owens like very early on in the match he hit like the pump up power bomb on Sami Zayn, but Sami Zayn like was able to survive it. Yeah, then yeah, Sami Zayn like hit a brainbuster on Kevin Owens like onto the apron. Yeah, yeah, and it just kind of did go like back and forth like this with like both guys just like hitting their signature moves throughout the match. Yeah, I thought that this match was like a little bit short. Like the match was like under 10 minutes. It was only like a little over 9 minutes. So yeah, so I felt that this was kind of short. Yeah, there were times where like Logan Paul was like watching the match and just like some really bad acting by him here. Like he was just like kind of like looked up like shocked and like he just like there was like some strain in his face from like some certain moves in here and he was just like oh but yeah the acting was just like really bad. I mean yeah he's had like some bad acting before in some of his videos. I remember like there was that video where he pretended to be colorblind. It was just dumb. Yeah, and plus yeah I talked before about like the situation a few years ago where he filmed that dead body. But yeah, and in that apology video that he made for it, I mean, I don't even know if like it was really genuine because of like how many times he's acted. So yeah, so who knows if he was really being sincere with that? Yeah, but I'm not gonna harp on that. Yeah, this is about WrestleMania. Yeah, it did just kind of go back and forth between the two of them. Yeah, and then yeah, at one point, as like Sami Zayn hit a hell of a kick on Kevin Owens as he tried to go for a second one, and he countered it, and then like hit a super kick and a stunner on Sami Zayn, and then yeah, Kevin Owens then he was able to pin Sami Zayn and get the win. And so yeah, Kevin Owens ended up picking up the victory. Yeah, and then yeah, after the match, then Logan Paul got in and then was like congratulating Kevin Owens on winning, and Sami Zayn wasn't pleased by that, and yeah, then he just like got up into Logan Paul's face and yeah, he was just kind of just like, like kind of just yelling at Logan Paul in his face, saying that he's Sammy's guest of honor. And then yeah, and Logan Paul wasn't having any of that, and then he just shoved Sami Zayn down. Oh, yeah, Yeah, and then then after that, then then Logan Paul was trying to celebrate in the ring with Kevin Owens, but then Kevin Owens was just like kind of looking at Logan Paul while not really being into him wanting to celebrate with him, and the crowd really was just like wanting Kevin Owens to attack Logan Paul, and so was I. Like I was really hoping that he was going to attack Logan Paul at some point in the match, But then here, like he was just kind of looking at Logan Paul, and then he and just like eventually nailed Logan Paul with a stunner. So really, just this is all that matters to me. Logan Paul got attacked, so I'm fine with it. Even though my prediction wasn't correct on here, I mean Logan Paul got attacked, so that's all that really mattered to me. And the match overall, it was overall, I'd say it was good. All right. Then next up, then we had the United States title on the line with Riddle defending against Sheamus. And I thought overall this was good. Yeah, it was once again I think shorter than I think it really should have been. Like this was another one that was only like about like 10.5 minutes. I think this could have been like a 15-minute match or something. But the match overall, like it was still good enough. Yeah, it wasn't really anything too memorable about it, but there were like a lot of near falls in the match. Like there were a lot of times in the match where I really did think that like it was going to be over with either both Sheamus and Riddle in the match. There's something I really want to talk about with Riddle for a second. I just find it kind of funny that like the WWE is allowing him to compete barefoot because after like the situation years ago when Rusev fractured his foot when he was just like wearing those ankle supporters on his feet, like after he like fractured his foot, like the WWE seemed to like ban anybody competing barefoot, and that's the reason why they didn't allow Ronda Rousey to compete barefoot, or at least that's why she didn't, because I've heard that she actually did want to compete barefoot, like she did when she actually was in MMA. But I've heard like due to like the incident with Rusev, they didn't allow her to do it, but yet they're okay with Riddle doing it. So I find it kind of funny that they're doing that with him. Now I don't know if they like just lifted that rule or what, but I just find it kind of funny that they are allowing him to do it. But anyway, back to this match. There were like a lot of like high flying spots in the match. And it did just kind of like go back and forth. I mean, it wasn't really anything like that memorable about it, but it was like it was entertaining enough to watch. And then but the ending was nice, where like Riddle was like trying to like do a like I don't know if he was like doing a springboard or something from the ropes, but as he was as he flipped off the ropes, and like Sheamus then like hit a brogue kick on Riddle, and it hit him right in the mouth, and then that allowed Sheamus to pin Riddle and win the match. So Sheamus won the United States title, and then afterwards you just saw Riddle's mouth bleeding. So he got hit pretty hard there. So like I said, I feel that this was like a relatively shorter than it should have been, and there wasn't really anything like too memorable about it, but it was good. Like it was enjoyable enough to watch. Yeah. And then next up, then we got what I felt was like another disappointment of the night. Next up was the Nigerian drum fight for the Intercontinental title with Big E defending against Apollo Crews. And and like I said in my predictions video, I really had no idea what the Nigerian drum fight was going to consist of, and really, I don't think anybody did, because they're like Apollo Crews didn't explain any of this like heading into WrestleMania. But they showed like what this really was. I mean, it was basically like kind of in the style of a no holds barred match. There were like no countouts, no disqualifications, and the only way to win was by a pinfall. And you just saw like there were like kind of just various this Nigerian drum weapons, and it was like scattered around the outside of the ring. There were like a conga drums, there were tables, there was a gong out there. Basically like just like sort of like weapons from the where Apollo Crews' culture comes from. And like I just said, I felt that this was another big disappointment because this match was only like it was under 7 minutes long, and Yeah, and plus, yeah, I did kind of like find it kind of funny. Like, as the match started off, like both of them like used kendo sticks, and they actually nailed each other with the kendo sticks. And it didn't even seem to phase them. But yeah, after what we saw last night with Bianca Belair using her hair as a whip, I guess kendo sticks really don't seem so bad anymore, right? Yeah, and yeah, then we're just like trying to use like various weapons in the match with like Big E tried to uh use the gong early on in the match, but Apollo Crews was able to stop him. And yeah, then at one point Apollo Crews like tried to splash a Big E through a table, but Big E moved out of the way and Crews went through the table himself. Yeah, and then when it looked like Big E was going to win after he hit a big ending on Apollo Crews, then we had uh, Daba Kato then come through the crowd, and then he attacked Big E. And then, yeah, then he just chokeslammed Big E, and then that allowed Apollo Crews to get the pin on Big E and get the win. So, yeah, so Apollo Crews won the Intercontinental Championship. So, yeah, so this probably wasn't really something that people were really looking forward to. I mean, yeah, there was like quite a bit of story behind this match, but I really don't think this was really something that a lot of people really were like one of the big matches people were really looking forward to on the show. But still, like this was your Intercontinental Championship match at WrestleMania, and given the build this has, I mean, wouldn't you expect more from this? But yeah, they just like had to like be like a really short match, and yeah, and they end it like that. So I'm sure this is probably going to carry over in the next week. Eats and probably like lead to the next pay per view where they have a rematch or something, or maybe Big E will now be going after uh, Deba Kato, if that's how it's pronounced. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Yeah, yeah. So I'm sure that there will be like some stuff to come out of this, but yeah, still, I felt that this was a disappointment. I mean, yeah, especially like when you already like had like Orton versus Wyatt be so short, and then a couple other matches were relatively short, and then you do this. Just this is kind of like what I'm talking about. Like just yeah, they really did a better job last night of with the pacing and the timing of a lot of matches, like balancing it out to give the matches enough time. But here, yeah, they didn't really do as good of a job with that. So I'm sure this is probably going to be like another disappointment for a lot of people. All right. Then next up, then we had the Raw Women's Championship up on the line with Asuka defending against Rhea Ripley, and yeah, this was like just I really did like this a lot. Like, yeah, I mean, this wasn't really as good as the SmackDown Women's Championship last night between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, but yeah, it was still a really good match. I mean, yeah, it went back and forth between them, and yeah, Asuka was just like doing really good in this match. Like it's really like I find it really hard to believe that Asuka is almost 40 years old. Like she still looks like she's in her 20s, and yet she's almost 40 years old. And Rhea Ripley, she's only 24. Like she's younger than me. So it's just really I find it just kind of weird that like there's like quite a big age difference between the two of them, and yet they roughly do look around the same age to me at least. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, this was like it was really entertaining. Meaning there was like a lot of high spots in the match, a lot of counters here. Yeah, one of the parts of the match that honestly did look kind of scary was at one point as they were like on the ring apron, Asuka hit a DDT to Rhea Ripley, and yeah, and it like went right down to the floor, and Ripley just like hit head first onto the floor. So yeah, that kind of looked scary. Like I'm not sure if Rhea Ripley like suffered a concussion or anything from there. So yeah, that was kind of a scary point in the match. Yeah. But yeah, this match it just like really went back and forth between the two of them. And then at the end of the match, like Asuka then like tried to like get Rhea Ripley in the Asuka lock, but she escaped. And then Rhea Ripley then hit the Riptide on Asuka and got the pin. So Rhea Ripley won the Raw Women's title. So the finish seemed like kind of just abrupt with like Rhea Ripley just like hitting the finisher and then just pinning Asuka like that. But still, like, I feel that this was the right decision. I mean, yeah, this was like my other prediction of two that were right tonight. So yeah, so Rhea Ripley won the Raw Women's Championship. So yeah, they did do a good job. Like they made like the newer girls go over in the two women's title matches is at this WrestleMania. Yeah, uh, Bianca Belair went over last night, and Rhea Ripley went over tonight. So yeah, so it is good that they are like giving like these relatively newer women in the division the pushes now, and they're really like I'm not sure if they really are going to go down the turn of like having like newer women be at the top of the division now. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. But yeah, they did make the right call, I think, with like having Rhea Ripley go over, and yeah, the match was pretty good. But overall, though, yeah, like I said, I do think that the SmackDown Women's title match last night was better. Okay, yeah, and I guess like before I do talk about the main event, I guess I'll talk about like the stuff with Bayley. Because yeah, throughout like both nights, like last night and tonight, like Bayley like kept interjecting like segments between like just whether it was like a Hulk Hogan and Tyson O'Neil talking to various superstars or Hall of Famers, and she even like came down to the broadcast booth to like like just to interject like what they were talking about. Yeah, Bayley like just kept like interrupting throughout the night, saying that basically like looking for like attention of thanking her for what she's done and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, and then like after like the Asuka after the Asuka Ripley match, as a Hulk Hogan and Apollo Crews, or not Apollo Crews, a Titus O'Neil, and it came out once again to like cut a little promo once again. Bayley interjected it, and yeah, she was just saying like she was tired of being disrespected by legends and Hall of Famers and stuff. Yeah, but then yeah, then the Bella Twins then came out, and then like right after that, like Bayley was just like telling them like John Cena wasn't there. Of course, I directed at Nikki because of like the history with her and John Cena. Yeah, and then yeah, Nikki then just ended up attacking Bayley, and yeah, then just like threw her partially like down the aisleway. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, was this really needed though? I mean, yeah, given that like the like how short like some of the matches were. I mean, yeah, and they did like have like quite a few like segments like this. I really felt that was kind of like overkill, like and stuff like that. So I don't know. I really feel that like they could have like cut some of these like backstage segments to really make time for more matches and stuff. So yeah, so I feel that that is like really one of the drawbacks for this night. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but then yeah, then we got the main event, the triple threat match for the Universal Championship, with Roman Reigns defending against Edge and Daniel Bryan. So yeah, this match. Yeah, this was just like a really awesome match right here. Yeah, I mean, this was just like so well paced. The crowd was really into it. There were a lot of like awesome spots in the match. There were near falls and stuff. Like this match really was just like really awesome. And yeah, this was definitely the best match of night two of WrestleMania. Yeah. So yeah, early on in the match, Jay Uso, who was like at ringside with Roman Reigns, of course, like was like going after both Edge and Daniel Bryan because yeah, since this was a triple threat match, there were no disqualifications in here, so yeah, it was legal for him to get involved. So early on in the match, Jey Uso attacked both Edge and Daniel Bryan and hit each of them with a super kick. But then yeah, then soon after her like early on in the match, still like Edge eventually then just like attacked Jey Uso and then actually got an execution on Jey Uso onto the steel steps. So yeah. And yeah, Jey Uso was like taken away by EMTs to be tended to. Yeah. Yeah. And there were just like a lot of like awesome spots in the match, like like early on in the match, like Edge and Daniel Bryan were like going at it a lot. Yeah, at one point, like Edge was like going at it with Roman Reigns, and he's just like at one point when they were like between the ring and the barricade, like Edge like was just like throwing Roman Reigns back and forth between the ring and the barricade. I mean, yeah, And yeah, there was like at one point in the match where like they were doing what I was like talking about before, back when I was like giving my thoughts on like Edge winning the Royal Rumble. Like they actually like collided with like their spears with Edge and Roman Reigns. Yeah, yeah, and there were there were just like spots like this like just throughout the match. Yeah, there were just like a lot of like high flying spots and near falls. Yeah, there was like one point in the match where like Roman Reigns just like power bombed Daniel Bryan through the announce table, and then right after he did it, then Edge then just like speared Roman Reigns like from the steel steps down to the floor. Yeah, and then and there were times where as like one guy was down like as the two other guys were fighting, where it looked like the one guy was gonna get the match won, that third guy came back and like broke up the count and stuff. Like there was a time where I guess Daniel Bryan was laid out. Like Edge, like it looked like was gonna like pin Roman Reigns, but Daniel Bryan broke it up. Yeah, yeah, and then and there were like times in the match where like they were like countering each other's moves. Like there was a point in the match where like Daniel Bryan was going to go for his running knee on Edge, but Edge was able to spear Daniel Bryan as he was going for it. Yeah, and then there were a lot of like chair use in the match. Like there was at one point where like Edge like was like grabbed a steel chair and I guess it broke somehow. And then then Edge was using the broken piece of the chair to like get a crossface in a Roman Reigns. Like he had that broken piece of the chair like going right like across Roman Reigns' mouth. Yeah. And then then when it looked like Roman was about to tap out, like Daniel Bryan like stopped him from tapping out, like grabbed his hand, similar to like what Triple H did when Chris Benoit had Shawn Michaels in the crossface at WrestleMania 20. Yeah, and then as Edge still like had that crossface locked in, Daniel Bryan actually got in the yes lock at the same time. So yeah, it was cool to see like the two of them like having their like crossfaces in on Roman Reigns together. Yeah, but of course both Edge and Daniel Bryan were trying to get the other to release their hold. Yeah, and then they were just like headbutting each other constantly trying to get each other to break the hold, and then Daniel Bryan was able to get Edge to let go. Yeah, but but Edge eventually broke it up. Yeah, yeah. Then there was a point in the match where like Edge was laid out and Daniel Bryan got the yes lock on Roman Reigns again, but Edge broke it up again. Yeah, yeah. And then when it looked like Edge had the match won again after he hit a spear on Roman Reigns, as the referee was counting, before the referee could make the 3 count, Daniel Bryan pulled the referee out of the ring. Yeah. Yeah. And then eventually, as both Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan were down in the ring, Edge then like grabbed a few chairs, and then he set both Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns up for individual concertos, and he was able to get the concerto in on Daniel Bryan. He nailed Daniel Bryan with a concerto. But when it came time to do it for Roman Reigns, then Jey Uso came back and then attacked Edge. Then as Edge then was able to like fight off Jey and spear him, then Roman Reigns was able to recover and then spear Edge, and then Roman Reigns then set Edge up for a concerto and nailed it on Edge. Yeah, and with Daniel Bryan still down, Roman Reigns then he then just like placed Edge on top of Daniel Bryan with his back like down on Daniel Bryan, and then Roman Reigns just like got on top and then like pinned both of them. So so Roman Reigns retained the Universal title. So I wasn't really yeah. Yeah, so Roman Reigns winning. I mean, I'm sure that's not really going to be a popular decision among the people. Yeah, sure. Like a lot of people would have loved to see either Daniel Bryan or Edge win. And when with me, like I said, I was really picking Daniel Bryan to win this, especially given his record against Roman Reigns. I can't remember like a time where he has actually beaten Roman Reigns. Yeah, Yeah, but given that like since like Daniel Bryan is like supposedly like coming to like the end of his career there, and like I said, since like Edge is like a Hall of Famer and he's not, and yeah, he's really not really going to compete like full time, of course. Whereas, like I said, I really didn't think that he giving him the title was a good would have been a good decision. So yeah, so I guess like Roman Reigns winning, I guess like with like those situations, I guess yeah, it I guess it's fine. Like just yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, so I guess like I can't really complain too much about it, even though like I said, I really would have wished Daniel Bryan would have won. Yeah, but yeah, still like it was just an awesome match with all those awesome moments, all the near falls, and when Daniel Bryan stopped Roman Reigns from tapping out, and yeah, all those spots. So yeah, so it was a really awesome match, and I really do think that this was definitely the best match of the night. Yeah, yeah. So I'm not really sure which one I like better between the SmackDown Women's Title match from night one and this match on night two. So which one did you guys like better? Comment on my channel and tell me. Yeah, but yeah, overall, yeah, it was still a really awesome match. All right. And so yeah, so there we go. So that's WrestleMania Night 2. So overall, I would say that Night 1 was definitely the better night of the two. It just like was better and yeah, just the matches yeah just turned out better than they did tonight. Yeah. So which night did you prefer for WrestleMania? Comment on my channel and tell me which which night you thought was better, and what was your favorite match overall of both of like just all the matches between night one and night two. What was your favorite match of just like this WrestleMania in general? Yeah, and just like what were your thoughts on both nights of WrestleMania? So yeah, just yeah, let me know what you think. But overall, I would say that WrestleMania 37, it was overall all good for both nights, and yeah, just yeah. Plus, yeah, it was good to really just have the crowd back, and I think that they really did keep the crowd entertained on both nights. So good to have the crowd back, and yeah, and we can just hope that like this is like a promising sign that like we will start to like get actual crowds back. Just all the WWE shows, whether it is Raw, SmackDown, and the other pay-per-views. Yeah, since like now a lot of places really are now allowing like crowds at like public events. That's whether they are sports or concerts or whatever the case may be. Yeah, hopefully this is a promising sign that we can really start to get back to those with WWE as well. Yeah, yeah. So we'll just see like how it goes with like the future now, if we will get crowds back at just all the shows now. All right, but yeah. So there you go. So those are my thoughts on WrestleMania Night 2. So yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy what I had to say, and yeah, just let me know what you thought about WrestleMania, and what your favorite match was of the entire event. All right, so yeah. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.